Yes, people. What's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football. We are back again with another video. Today, what we're going to be talking about, of course, is the Premier League weekend that we just witnessed. Today on Vibes from the Six, we're going to talk about the Arsenal-Wolves game, the Chelsea-Man City game where Chelsea beat Man City 2-0, Arsenal beat Wolves 2-0, and Liverpool beat Ipswich 2-0. A lot of 2-0s. And, of course, Manchester United were saved by Zirkzee to beat Fulham 1-0. At home at Old Trafford for the first game of the season. Now, with all that being said, before we go any further, I'm going to introduce my guest. But before I do that, I need to ask you guys to do me a little favor. Thank you for watching, guys. And please do hit the like button and and of course, do hit that subscribe button and join the family. Be subscribed to Eagle Talks Football and be one of the subscribers. And of course, if you want to even take it to another level, you can become a channel member and join the community and connect with us on a regular basis. In addition to that, if you guys enjoy any of the stuff that we're talking about, please do leave a comment in the comment section and let us know where you're watching from, what kind of fan, who do you support, and just what you think about the conversation and discussion that we're having today. But before we go any further, let me add my guys. I got Liverpool fan Musa in the building. I got Ahmed in the house, who's a Chelsea fan. I got Monty in the building. We literally got the Somali connection. We're making jokes about this earlier. We got the Somali connection in the building, and of course we're gonna have Vater and Jay joining us very soon. But before we go any further, how you guys doing, man? How's everything?
Doing good, man. Doing good, bro.
I got my win. I'm happy. We were just talking about this before the stream. Did you guys enjoy the first week of the Premier League, or do you just feel like no drama, it's kind of calm?
It was pretty calm. Like we said before, we said it was pretty calm. We had a couple 2-0 wins and just no drama in particular. I thought there would be a bit of VAR chaos here, the handballs. I thought something would happen. Even this game, I thought a couple of handballs here, but nothing happened. So all good here.
There you go. Wait, what about you, Monty? Zirkzee, your boy saves you guys. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But how'd you feel about your game?
Nah, I feel good, man. I feel good. Win, 3 points, clean sheet. Good start to the season. Can't complain, all that.
You know what? While we're here, let's talk about Man United. You could argue that your finishing has not improved at all yet, and Zirkzee, outside of Zirkzee's goal, you could have finished that game 3-4-0. Like,
no, but that's true. But
did you guys watch their game? Man United, they could have won that game times. Bruno threw on goal. You expect him to score it? You know what he did? Outside of his boot, he connected it outside of his boot from the near post. What was he doing? He shot it straight at the keeper from there. Unlucky. Then you have Rashford. He's just been off it for a while now. And then I think the person who had the worst chance was when they're 1-0 up, Garnacho
at the end. I have a conspiracy theory. You know me, I like my conspiracy theories.
Okay.
I think we'll talk about that last chance first, and then we'll get to everything else a little bit quicker. But that last chance, Garnacho was just there as an extra body. He was expecting Rashford to score and go alone, right? And then, on top of that, the pass that Rashford made to Garnacho was actually a very, very bad pass. It set him up. And I have, good proof because I had a friend that went to the game, recorded it on a very good angle, and you could even see when they do the slow-mo replays, it's actually a dragged pass behind Garnacho when he's already running with momentum. Now, of course, it's an open goal. He should score regardless, 100%. But I don't think it's as clear-cut as everyone's expecting it. And then on top of that, Bruno, you see Bruno, I'll be honest with you, we saw in the Community Shield, he can hit it from anywhere, right? But ultimately, I think when it came to the game yesterday, the type of style we was playing, I'll be honest, I was very surprised because I would have wanted all the chances to fall to him. So when he missed them, especially the one where Casemiro played a lovely pass and opened up the defense, and that should have been a goal. But hey, we won 1-0. It's still a win. It didn't come back to cost us. And yeah, honestly, Zirkzee, what a player. What a goal. That's a really good finish as well. Really good finish. So I'm very, very pleased. And things are looking good.
There you go. We also got Vader and Jay in the building. Of course, Jay is here with his 1917 camera on, and we got Vader in his car. Well, what are you guys saying? We're just talking about Man United, and you have the audacity to talk about Casemiro's good passing when the guy was looking like he was wearing cement boots walking around there. did you see him walking around on the pitch? Like he could not chase after anybody.
Hey, we have to give credit when credit is due. I'm not a huge fan, but he did play some great passes, line-breaking passes. And I'll be honest with you, hey, he looks slim, but I'm scared it will take him a week to go to Nando's, gain a couple extra pounds.
I've never heard that it's a positive for a player to be slim, bro.
Exactly, he looks slim. Is that Sancho trauma?
I have to say though, with Casemiro, there was like a few times where like he would get given the ball outside the box and like he would shoot, and he kept on shooting them like over the bar. So I was just like, maybe try to find a pass in it because clearly it's not your shooting night. Like, at least maybe try to find someone else to shoot to. That's the one thing I would say about Casemiro, at least in that game. Because he had like 3 or 4 chances.
No, but to be fair, there was even chances where he would play some balls into Bruno or into the forward players, which I was like, hey, we didn't see this all last year. We saw this in the first year, not last year. So I was like, oh, but he still needs to get sold. I'm still standing by that. I'm not taking my opinion.
So, it sounds like you're deprived of good football.
Nah, not really.
You gotta listen. They might be deprived of good football, but do you know what they're not deprived of? Trophies.
What?
Two in the last 2 seasons. And I'm not even a United fan. I just want to be fair. Do you know what I mean? I just want to be fair. So the one thing about Casemiro, the thing is United can still go either way. Do you know what I mean? Like against Fulham, it was interesting. It's like, were United good? Were Fulham bad? Fulham missing Paulinho. But United actually created some chances, looked decent. Casemiro looked better when he was being asked to do what he's good at. Do you know what I mean? Like when you ask him to do things he's not good at, he's not going to be that competent. You know, Madrid, you surround him with good passers, good runners. Cool. At United, you expose him and you basically say, progress the ball. Well, I'm not a top passer. Like, what am I doing here? I can't dribble because I'm a bit old. What am I doing here? So obviously, you know, if you expose the players, like, for example, I'll put it like this. Declan Rice, there's a reason why Arteta put Jorginho next to him, in the running last season, because he was being exposed to do things he was not as good at. And as a result, he was looking like a worse player. So Casemiro, again, too early, 1 game. But this is
you still need to sign the DM though, I'll be honest.
You'll still sign a player, but I'm saying you still got to respect his pedigree, you know what I mean? His resume. Do you know what I mean? Like when you've got a resume like that, you're always surely capable. You also say, I'm not always as good as I was, but like 1 or 2 times you can run it back. You know, he can be the guy he was if you give him the right settings. But yeah, about Casemiro, bad season last season, good first game.
So the football's not left him yet.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Yeah, with what's it for United? I felt like when I watched them, it was like they had more possession than usual. They were actually keeping the ball, but it kind of felt like they were still similar in aspects to what they were last season. So it's like there was a lot of stuff from last season, but now it feels like you now keep possession a lot more than you did last season at the very least. You can keep the ball more so. Maybe I don't know if that's because Fulham was missing their a top CDM, but maybe that's me.
You're muted, girl.
You're muted, girl.
Oh, I kind of had to be because my wife was in the kitchen. Anyways, we got an interesting question here for the first super chat of the day. My guy Skills comes out and says, Dominic Solanke, Rasmus Højlund, or Jackson, best to worst?
It's in that order already.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's in that order. I wouldn't say that's in that order.
I think it's in the order.
I would say
I wonder what. Go ahead, Ahmed.
I was going to say it'd probably be Solanke, Jackson, or Højlund because I think at the very least Jackson has shown us in the same season as Højlund. He's outscored them.
Did you watch this game today? Did you watch this game today and say Højlund's not better?
But I feel like this game, you know, I didn't even think he should have started. The Bayern just came back from my ankle sprain, barely played any football in preseason. Only had 10 minutes of preseason, and I think you should. No. I actually think only with him specifically. I wouldn't say with any other player, but with him specifically, he actually should not have played this game at all.
He didn't play. He played like he doesn't know what. I feel like he doesn't know what striker is. Like I'm seeing him like in that chance where he's offside. He's offside for no reason. Like honestly, what was he doing in that point? Like that's an easy goal. I think that's an easy goal.
No, it's a bad miss. Yeah, he should score. He should score. It's a simple. The thing with Jackson is like obviously it goes for me. It's Solanke, Jackson, Højlund. Yeah, because I think aesthetically you might want to give it Jackson, but then you look at how he finishes and stuff, and you have to be like, as a striker, that is.
I'm not even talking about the miss. You know, I'm not even talking about the miss. I'm talking about the point where he was offside and there was a goal. There was a goal that he scored.
That was narrowly.
I'm not even talking about that one. I'm talking about that one. He could clearly be a foot onside and still score that. That's what top strikers are about. That's how I get.
No, I'm saying, are you nitpicking here because you don't like Jackson? Yeah.
No, I'm not nitpicking because I would say the same thing about Nunes. I'd say the same thing about Nunes. Everyone here would say the same thing about Nunes. Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I want to know.
He's offside because he's playing on the last man. Do you know what I mean? And he's not timing that perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Time it.
But do you not think then, bro, that it comes down to match sharpness? Brother's not played in 2 months.
Okay, I hear that. He can give me that excuse.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. My main issue with Jackson, he has zero match sharpness. Like this guy came back from a sprained ankle that he sprained.
Okay, but hold on. If we're looking at Jackson last season compared to Højlund last season, I can look at Højlund's performances and I'll be like, I can see talent in you. I can see that you are like when the chances are given to you, you do score them. I believe he's a lot more clinical than Jackson because you see Jackson will get a lot of chances and he'll miss a lot. Whereas Højlund at United last year, he got 16 goals in all comps and he was barely getting any service for nearly 2/3 of the season. So for me,
where I would disagree with that, slightly, is that I think with Jackson was the guy that was creating his own chances. I don't think Højlund necessarily was doing that for himself, was he? Like Jackson literally would get the ball up, push the ball forward, help to play make with the whole team and stuff, and then actually create his own shot. With Højlund, he was just waiting for the ball to come to him. Like, you know what I'm saying to you? And if the team's not doing that,
but then when the ball
at least help yourself. At least, you know, as I always say, sometimes as a striker, you need to have that secondary ability to be at least help for yourself. And he wasn't doing it for himself.
This goes to show you how dead that Man United Fulham game was, because for the first game of the season, we're here debating strikers.
Super chat.
Big up,
super chat.
If we're gonna be fair, Solanke's the best out of that list. Jackson and Højlund can think. I'm going to save this next topic that he just super chatted for the next point because that really started a lot of debate.
It's a good question.
It's a good question, and
I know who I think. Like I know.
Okay, so let's just get to it now. If you guys didn't see, after the Arsenal game, AFTV had a massive debate about Arteta and Emery. But before anybody else says anything, I just want to know, Vader, are you there, bro? Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, real quick, I like seeing Monty back. You know what I mean? The energy, I like that. Look at him.
Come on, man.
Look at him.
Come on.
That's some good vibes. You know what I mean? Ineos doing the right things, extending Erik ten Hag's contract, stripping him of any responsibilities. Just coach and give these players instructions.
Hey, man,
and you
3 points clean sheet, man.
Hey, you know what I mean? And you reduce the 20 shots on target to 10.
Single digits this game.
Hey, you know what I mean? It's nice. It's going to be a nice season. Also, I want to point out, Højlund is above Jackson. No disrespect, but Jackson's a winger playing at 9. I think Højlund's a truer 9, so I would go Solanke, Højlund, and Jackson. But this week, man, all I can say is when we get to the City portion, I won't have much to brag about. I'll be honest with you. I won't have much to brag about. But that 1-0 win over Fulham should be promising to all United fans.
100%.
You know what? It's a weekend wrap up, and there was really no major like scares or embarrassments because everyone would be here trying to cook somebody if they lost. Maybe it could be.
This week, all the results were straightforward. I didn't look at a result and think, "Oh my god, that's a shock." You know?
Yeah, can you cook week 1?
Brentford being Palace, my shock.
I swear, Arsenal fans got, one second. Arsenal fans got cooked when we lost to Brentford first game of the season.
Yeah, but that was.
But you know what it's like, bro. Come on, go, bro. You bring this up, bro. Yeah, but you know why they're doing this.
You know why?
You know what I mean? Come on, RG, bro. You know what they're doing this for, bro.
All right. Let's get on to the super chat though. Man's talking about Unai Emery and Arteta. I don't know if you guys seen the debate. The debate was wild.
Play the video so that those that haven't.
No, I can't because AFTV are just gonna copy.
So what was the bullet point?
Hold on, can I ask
AFTV are gonna copyright it. Can I just simply explain it, please?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The debate. I'm gonna be as impartial to explain it. The debate is
of course,
whether Unai Emery or Arteta is the better manager, and the main focus point Arsenal fans were talking about was Unai Emery has an extensive record, of course, winning Europa Leagues, facing Arsenal many times with Aston Villa, with other clubs in Europe, and Arsenal having underwhelming performances. Mikel Arteta, the conversation is he took over Arsenal and transformed them from where they were in 2019 to where they are now, instilling a culture, doing what he's done. And the main conversation was, at this moment in time, who is the best manager in the Premier League outside of Pep Guardiola? Robbie said it's Arteta, and just look at what he's done. Then you have Yardman who said it's Unai Emery, and you're crazy to say it's Arteta.
Right. Okay. So, right. So listen, I'm gonna go quickly with my answer because I feel like I'll flip flop with my answer if I don't go quickly, and I'm gonna go with my reasons. Emery, yeah, because I remember when Ange came, I was having an argument with somebody, and I was trying to basically say, "Oh, who says that Emery is better than Ange?" Or blah blah blah, and I realized at the time I was being really disrespectful to Emery, like really disrespectful, because football, when you boil it down at the very end, is about winning and accolades. And this man has a lot of accolades. Yeah, he's done madnesses with you, like Villarreal Champions League semi-finals, like winning Europa Leagues, Villa. Obviously, he's got league titles with PSG. To me, like I used to think Poch and Emery, I used to think they were a similar level. Emery's a better level than that. You can praise Arsenal, yeah, and you can praise Arteta for what he's done at Arsenal, but you then also have to praise the structure around him and the transfer strategy that has helped him bring in good players, yeah, a structure that didn't exist when Emery was there, right? So if Emery was given the same structure that Arteta has been given, yeah, am I saying like, you know, am I saying that he's gonna be able to like do this? Like, and I look at it and it's like Arteta hasn't he's won the FA Cup, yeah, but 50% of that FA Cup was Emery's, yeah, because he won a couple of rounds, yeah. Did he win a round? No, well, he came into that season, yeah, so it was his squad. Okay, so it's not his squad. It's his squad. It's not 50%, but you basically, yeah, it was half and half. The one time, it's funny. The one time that he won, it was Emery's squad. Yeah. So to me, you could maybe use it as a counter argument to say, well, he won with Emery players, but they also finished 8th. This previous season they were 5th. Are we all saying that they regressed dramatically in 1 year? Like, it's tight. Like. I think you have to, despite Arteta being very good and having a lot of potential to have a higher ceiling, I think you have to say Emery. I don't see how you could not say Emery.
Simply put, Arsenal had a record amount of wins under Arteta, conceded barely any goals under Arteta. Arteta has transformed the team from where it was, instilled the culture, done everything that he's done. And at this moment in time, if any top job comes out, they're not going to Unai Emery from Aston Villa saying, I want this guy.
Here's the question. I have a question.
Didn't Bayern ask for him?
If I'm not mistaken, Barcelona asked for Arteta, PSG asked for Arteta.
Bayern asked for
I think he's making the...
And also, I'm not done. Arteta took over a job which Unai Emery has failed in previously and taken that team from an 8th place squad to now a team that is competing against the juggernaut in Manchester City.
Okay.
I think people are looking at the past with and saying, oh, with shiny eyes. But all of these people who are bigging him up right now were hating on him when he was at Arsenal, saying that he
But
shit. Deservedly so.
Quick question. Are we talking about who's the better manager, or under like
the context of the argument,
or is it for Arsenal? Because if it's
the context of the argument is not CV. If you were to say who's the best manager,
you saying it's not CV, bro?
No,
we can't do that. Then we can't.
How is CV not very important to this question?
If it was CV based, then people would be talking about Ten Hag as one of the higher, better managers.
Bro,
in this league.
what has Ten Hag won compared to Emery? Bro,
yes.
Emery has
Ten Hag won the Eredivisie
multiple European trophies.
We need to be honest about what the Eredivisie also is.
European trophies,
bro. Yes. If I'm not mistaken, Arne Slot even has league titles.
He does not have European trophies. These men,
Emery's got.
You know what?
They certainly don't have multiple ones.
Yeah. So the way I'm gonna put it like this, is that I think for me, I would say Emery personally, but I think the issue is with Arteta. Arteta right now, yes, is he like a guy that a lot of other clubs would go for? There's no doubt denying that. I think for me right now, the thing that Arteta is missing is very similar, ironically, to what Arsenal is missing. He needs some big trophies in his cabinet, and I think for me, if he wins the EPL or he wins the UCL or one of those two, I think at that point I feel like you can then say yes, he's better than Emery. But I feel like for me, 100%. right now, he's at the almost process right now. The thing that's making Emery slightly better than him right now is really the multiple Europa League titles he's won, the teams he's won it with, and I think yes, maybe he didn't do it at Arsenal, but still the track record that he has at other clubs of getting them European titles.
Let me ask you guys right now: if you guys own a football club, and those are the two managers that are on the market. You're telling me you'd rather have Unai Emery?
Look. Okay, here's the question. Here's one thing. Yeah, even after Arsenal,
sorry, Jay, you're on mute.
Aston Villa. He's gone to Aston Villa, and look at the work that Aston Villa with Gerrard were nearly relegated. Right?
Yeah,
in a relegation.
Like the same players, by the way. Like
same players.
Same type of team. It was relegation battle with them, right? Then Emery comes in, and now 18 months later, he's in the Champions League with them, right? So you're asking, for example, which manager would you want? The way I look at Arteta is similar how United fans view Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. In this, and let me land. It's the sense that he took us to a place post-Fergie that we haven't reached. And that's the truth. We was finishing in the league second. Yes, it's not as close, and the title run-ins like Arsenal and City have in the last couple of years. But on paper, we was getting to European finals. We lost. We was getting to second place in the Premier League. We didn't really do anything else other than that. We was going far in the Champions League quarterfinal, the same stage that Arsenal got knocked out in. So then what ended up happening was the discourse was, well, can he not take us to the next step, which is actually going for silverware, And with Arteta has built an amazing squad at Arsenal. He's fantastic in the sense that he took Arsenal from where they were to where they are now. But that progression in football, silverware is the currency. If you're not
100%,
100%. My point is, if silverware is the currency, then when people speak about the best managers, they don't always mention the managers that have won silverware in their career. They mention
Mourinho, of course.
The way you guys are determining who's the better manager, and the way people actually determine who's the better manager, they determine who's the better manager on who has the better tactics right now, who's implementing their style better, who is getting better performances from their players currently. You can have Antonio Conte and Jose who've won all these trophies, but they might not necessarily work for you.
Can I explain to you why that's fundamentally flawed?
You've seen this yourself at your club.
No, Igal.
You're the perfect experiment.
No, Igal, because my point is that here's a great example. This is this example is so good, I don't think you're going to be able to rebut it, right? So a couple of years ago in La Liga, when Xavi, won the league, Barcelona were doing well, they had tactics. Some people would have said and were saying at the time, Xavi is a better manager than Ancelotti. Now, with that logic that you're going with now, you can make that point, but it's not true. Do you see what I mean? As in, Xavi was never, even though at a moment he may have had better tactics or whatever, he was not a better manager than Ancelotti. And he's proven to not be a better manager than Ancelotti. So you can have a moment where you're a very good manager and your tactics slap and the stars align and stuff. But that doesn't mean that you're a long-term manager who's you can just have a perfect storm situation. So that's why I'm pushing back on your, well, you know, the best managers got the best tactics and this and that. Nah, because that's temporary. And you would then have to caveat your point with currently, at this precise moment in time, everything would have to be on a week-by-week, month-by-month basis, because it would have to be real time for you to make that argument.
Jay,
Can I give you a better example? I'm gonna give a better example just quickly, yeah, because like there's a guy here that is at Real Madrid currently, Carlo Ancelotti. Would we necessarily say Ancelotti is known as a tactical? Like, let's be honest, guys. Would we say that? No. But what is he? No. Like, I wouldn't say so myself personally.
No.
I wouldn't say he's a tactical.
No, but you know what he's.
But he is kind of a tactical.
but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course he's got a basics, right? Let's get the right. But like if you compare him to other guys, but the thing about him though, and I will say this, is his man management. That's the thing that's kept him to be an elite manager and continue to win trophies. So not all managers are always gonna have that tactical ability.
Guys, we're gonna have to wrap this part up shortly. The Arsenal game itself, there's not much to be said. Chris, we played really well. Kai Havertz played really well. Bukayo Saka did his job. We can David Raya made some really good saves, good saves, like really good saves in those. And I think he's gonna start to earn a lot more respect from people on off the back of last season, where people just said, "Oh, he only won Golden Boot because of Gabriel and Saliba." He's looking like a good keeper also. And a lot of the people who loved Ramsdale, they need to just calm down at this point, because your boy's on the bench and he looks like he's not going to be playing ever again. So it's sad, but hopefully we can get a move for him. Vader, yeah, that's harsh, but it's the honest truth. Wow. And as for the Chelsea fan in the building, doesn't it hurt every time you see Kai Havertz play well, or are you cool with it?
I'm content, to be honest. I don't really mind. Again, like, you know, I replaced.
They're an X for a reason, right? They're an X player for a reason.
Listen, the thing is, like, we swapped Kai Havertz for Jackson, and he gave me 2 more goals than Jackson did for you guys when he was playing for you guys. So for me, I'm content with what he's been getting, with what I've received, and I think now Vega Osimhen, I'd probably say that's a better upgrade for me in that 9th position anyway.
Okay. I'm not gonna say one man's trash is another man's treasure. Kai Havertz
fair enough.
Kai Havertz right now is playing really well, and I think all of us can admit that you guys are somewhat surprised.
Of course, I'm surprised. I won't lie to you. Of course, I'm surprised that obviously he's playing well. I won't deny that. But I think for me, you know, the thing about Havertz, I'm just gonna wait to see what he does in 38 games, and then he's the best. Any player that I have.
I'm also going to wait until the end of the season when you guys start admitting that Bukayo Saka is world class. Because
Stop it.
Because Musa, don't lie. Saka's probably the closest thing to your boy Salah in the league.
Yeah, just on Havertz, like, I'm surprised.
What are we doing here? What am I hearing?
On Havertz, yeah, like, but like at Leverkusen, he was meant to be this guy. Like, so the guy he's kind of becoming, that's the guy he was meant to be. He kind of, you know, it didn't go off at Chelsea. But this is the talent he was projected to be. So to me, I'm like, maybe he can maintain and keep going, because when I look at Havertz play now, it's like, why would he suddenly become bad? I look at it. I look at like things like that. I look at when a player's playing, and I'm looking at what they're doing, and I'm like, can he maintain that? Like, as in, is he doing anything specifically?
He's been doing it since January.
No, that's my point. That's why I'm starting. That's why I'm like, I see him maintain. I don't see what. It's not like he's scoring 30-yarders and blah. You know, he's not doing stuff that's
100%.
Unique. Yeah, it's like he's doing it, and he's consistently doing it. Tap-ins, link-up play. He can play
great headers.
He looks
he
like
he might be him. He might be him. You don't know.
Oh my goodness.
He's a decent finisher.
It does look like no one can tell me like the rate he's scoring at the moment is just he looks like the price tag that he was bought for. Like to me,
65 million.
I think he's playing. You know, like if you're looking
I
for a
wouldn't say
striker,
that.
if you're looking for a striker in world football and stuff like that, and you watch Havertz, you're like, man, there's not loads of strikers you could get that have a better.
Is he even striker?
It's a bad era. It's a bad
Is he even striker?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, he is the second most informed striker in the league behind only one, Erling Haaland. But let's get to the City Chelsea game, and I think Vader is gonna have to go, so we're gonna have to speak about this, guys.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Sorry.
rebuttal the Saka point. We can sit here 20 streams down the line this season.
Yeah.
and still talk about
Egal's
Saka.
gonna bring this up every stream. Don't worry
Until
about it.
you guys all admit that Saka's world class, every single person on the stream, we're gonna continue to speak about it. But for now,
Never.
Chelsea, City. Can I just say, Savio impressed me. Doku should be on the bench very soon. That guy is not that good. As for Chelsea, one good thing I would say about Chelsea, I thought Lavia played well, probably the best midfielder out of the three for that game, and Jackson was poor. I'm gonna give Cole Palmer and some of the other guys a break, but why isn't Nkunku not playing in the 10? Why is Enzo in the 10? Enzo's the captain. He's playing in the 10. It didn't make sense. Or did you guys think he was playing in another area of the pitch?
He was basically free roaming in the midfield. He was actually
No, hold on. Sorry, Egal. I know this is your show, but let's not direct any questions towards Chelsea right now. I won the game. Manchester City won the game. So the questions come my way first, right? Four-time Prem winner. All right, we're gonna have certain things in order. This game, listen, I'm gonna say this, Chelsea fans, honestly, you guys should be happy with the result regardless. You played against the 4-time Prem winners, and it was a battle. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
Put your shit on the table.
I'm just saying.
Chelsea got the XG win though.
Yo, big up everyone watching on Twitter. Come join us on YouTube.
Let's talk about the XG win. No, but listen. I was nervous going into this game because I had no Rodri in particular. I know when Rodri plays, I don't lose games, but I was able to win a game without him. And
Mateo Kovacic did his Rodri impression there. I saw him.
And he was very respectful. He was very respectful. Scored, didn't celebrate.
He should have celebrated.
Nah. We're classy over here at Manchester. On this side of Manchester, we're classy. I can't say anything about my man over there, but over here, we're classy.
My boy Kai Havertz celebrated. I loved it.
I have to disagree with what Egal said in terms of this whole intro. He wants to big up Savio. Of course, okay, debut looked nice, right? I hate to see him get off injured. But don't be disrespectful to Doku. Don't do that. Man,
what did Doku do?
Man was cooking. He put 2 on the plate to Bernardo Silva. One was a little tap that went over to Haaland and scored. Another one should have been a shot on target.
That was a terrible pass. If it wasn't for
that was brilliant from Bernardo Silva. I think it was more brilliant.
It would have gone to Haaland anyways, but Bernardo put a little angle on it, which was nice. Don't disrespect Doku.
That was a terrible pass.
I wouldn't say terrible, but I think it was the brilliance of Bernardo that he saw it, the way he saw Haaland there.
If Bernardo Silva didn't redirect that was never getting to Haaland.
You know what? As much as Egal is saying on every stream he's going to talk about, I'm going to remind you that Saka is world class. I'm going to remind you of this hate that you're bringing to Doku, that it's forced. This forced narrative that his end product is poor. No, listen, he puts a few on the plate and he's cooking the left or right back when he's got that chance. So for me, I'm happy with the win. It's also giving me some vibes of when I had Sterling and Sane on the wings. When Pep would do a madness and be like, yo, Sterling, you're going to start on the right side. Midway, 10 minutes later, he's flipping it. And he did that today in the first game of the season. I got mad vibes with what we can do. Direct attacking wingers. None of this kind of control that we were doing the last 2 seasons. If I got to continue this way while my players get back up to speed, because Foden didn't start, and yeah, you know how nice Foden is, right? Won a few awards, keeps getting disrespectfully compared to your winger, but we got Foden who came off the bench because of Savio getting hurt. We got Rodri ready to come back. Yeah, you're mad disrespectful. You've always been disrespectful, but I got Doku, Savio to start the game. I got Foden coming off the bench. I got Foden coming off the bench, and I got Rodri due to come back. I also have Walker, who is a speed demon merchant. Whichever clubs have a speed demon out on wing, especially on that left side, Walker is going to put them in his pocket. So there's a lot to be promising on. If my club does not go out and get a signing, I'm actually calm with it. I'm a City fan.
You're calm with it.
I'm calm with it. What? I've been spoiled. The last 20 years, you've been begging for your club to win a Prem. I've won 4 in a row. So
yeah, it's to the point where you guys saying you don't even want to win it anymore.
I'm to the point where Pep is like, let's win this with one hand tied behind my back. Don't give me any more signings. No. Let's show the world. Let's remind everybody why Pep is actually the better manager, not Sir Alex Ferguson. Because I'm gonna do 5 without any signings. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Let me do a poll. Was Doku good or was Doku poor today? Let me know, people in the chat, because I thought Doku personally was poor. It's interesting that a guy like Savio, who played his first Premier League game, had, in my opinion, a better performance than Doku. Even though, yes, Doku had a hand to play with the goal, but I'm not giving too much credit to him. I'm giving him more.
He also caused Sanchez to have to save one. Don't take that.
Oh, let's talk about
deflection.
One second. If we're gonna talk about saving, let's talk about this. Your self-proclaimed best goalkeeper in the world.
Clean sheet. What do you got to say, Gal? Clean sheet.
No.
That's shameless. That's shameless.
That's crazy.
He was shaking it when Jackson scored that goal that was offside. Shaking it. Jackson never had to be offside there. Jackson lives offside. We know that.
Yeah.
But you were shaking it today.
Hey, watch how you phrase those things first and foremost. But Ederson was calm today. Ederson, without Jackson being offsides, what's he really stressed about? Shots that came on target, yeah, he might have spilled one, but I think he saw it late, but was able to keep it out of net, and then Jackson was able to kind of clean up. But Ederson is that guy. We need to stop doing this, Igal. What? It's week 1. Stop you're attacking the wrong players. You don't attack a treble winner keeper that kept a clean sheet against Inter. Oh, speaking about Inter, by the way, they opened up their season with a draw. Those guys. And I don't want to hear any meltdowns from Judge Mo over there about how other clubs are performing in the Prem when all the teams that he covers have wins, and we need to see what Spurs do. But he opens up his season with a draw. It is all, yeah, Jay, you got tomorrow. Now, I've got nothing to worry about at keeper. Honestly, I got nothing to worry about. And I said, I'm going to say this. I am calm with it. If Pep decides to win this league with one hand tied behind his back, no signings, when you got Liverpool over there crying for signings, hey, respect this Manchester City and what they're about to do with this potential 5-peat.
Before you go, I know you got to go, and we're going to let Ahmed say his piece on his club, and I just want you to stay for that also. I just want to ask you one thing. Is Pep serious when he says what he says, or do you think it's just stupid mind games? Because Pep Guardiola, guys, said he doesn't have any motivation to win the league.
Yeah, no, see, hold on. Miguel, come on. You grew up in the Canadian educational system, so I know your comprehension skills are very well. You're very literate. Pep, don't cut what he said.
That could have gone either way.
don't cut what he said. He said at this point in the season, to begin the season when there's 38 weeks, no, I'm not motivated to win it. Because you know what we do. We close races. We chase everybody down. Right now, it's like, all right, yeah, everyone get excited. We know it's 38 weeks. So he's not motivated right now. It's business as usual. It's getting players up to speed. It's trusting a Savio. It's seeing a Rico Lewis playing right back. It's things like that he's like, you know what? Nah, the motivation isn't there yet. And you can understand it. It's 4. It's hard. 4 in a row, man. Jay, I got to tell you, when you win 4 in a row, it's tough. I mean, I can imagine.
I can imagine.
But you can understand it, though. You can understand it.
I know how difficult it is to win 1. Like,
let's hear from Ahmed. Ahmed, what are you saying?
Honestly, again, positive and negatives. One of the things I did say going into the season that there's going to be a lot more short-term pain to begin with in the season, particularly with the new manager and some of the stuff that's going to happen. So again, I'm expecting some losses and draws at least to start the season with, especially with the new manager. I think for me, in Cuckoo left wing, I think today we kind of saw, unless you're going to get Cucurella to overlap him, which he started doing in the second half, it's not going to work, innit? I think for me personally, he should really be playing in the middle of the field. I think that's really his best position, behind the striker, where you can create a little bit more for him at the end of the day. I think when Neto came on, he had a few good moments there, I would say personally, my personal opinion. I think for me, defensively, I'm not surprised. I think we are going to look shaky again in the first few weeks. It's not nothing surprising to me personally. But this is why, for me, I've always said You need to be clinical going forward, though. You have to be clinical going forward. You've got to at least, outgun, the other teams in the short term at the very least, while your defense gels, or if you bring in some guys later on, if you have to do that. So that's why when you're playing Jackson up front, of course, not going to be clinical. And then he's got zero match sharpness as well. You know what I mean? That's like a recipe for disaster, essentially, from a team perspective. So I think for me also, Palmer, we saw again, Gusto decided to overlap in the second half. Again, I don't understand why he was not overlapping in the first half to begin with. So I think it's a manager error, in my personal opinion. If you're going to play in Cuckoo and Palmer on the wing, you should be playing them as 10s. Much like how Crystal Palace do it, when they have Mateta, then you have Kamada, and then Eze, you're going to have to play them like that. Otherwise, they're not going to give you that much of output in the end of the day. But again, Enzo didn't really work out today. Again, if he doesn't work out... Why is he
diving so much, though?
Again,
he's not playing we'll
get to that. Listen, tomato. Some of them were, some of them weren't. I think, again, I don't really care. He wasn't great today. I would say personally.
Enzo.
But for me personally, but you know what I'll say just quickly? For me personally, I don't care if he works out or not. What I care about is what's going to work. What I think I care about.
Okay, so you've admitted that it can go left.
What do you mean? It can go left. Of course, it can go left. But any player can go left. So I mean, that's the reality of the situation.
No, this is your captain. This is your captain.
That's 100 million euros. That's a 100 million euro player right there.
Listen, 100 million euros. Lukaku was 100 million euros, and we saw how that.
That's 100 million for Chelsea. That's different. That's
okay. So
you know
what I mean. So for me personally, I don't listen. If you can't, I think with the manager, what I would say to the manager, if you can't find a way to make him work, but then you see the other midfielders that we have are working more functionally, whether that be a Lavia, Caicedo, and then Nkunku in the 10 role, which I think is probably going to be a lot more of a stronger midfield in my personal opinion. You got the creator there, then you've got Caicedo to be your box to box, and then Lavia can just be that 6th guy that can hold the fort and just come in whenever he needs to be the destroyer. So for me,
do you think it's fair that people are asking the question, what is Enzo good at? Because a lot of people are watching the games and they're just coming up like.
I agree with you, Gal. This season he has to show why he's good. Last season he had obviously the excuse of the hernia, which is fair. But this season, this season though, no injuries, no nothing. We've brought a manager that's meant to be, showing the best version of him, and he has to do that too. And that's
my question. My question is: every manager, like I've seen a couple of managers now, Pochettino and Maresca, play him in that higher role. When I hear Chelsea fans say he's better deeper. He's better deeper. So what is his best role? What is his best role is my question.
I've always personally felt that he was better as a deep line playmaker.
So why are managers that?
This is the thing, bro. This is the thing.
Because he's not good defensively.
I think, you know what he is? He's very similar to, I would say, J5. We used to have J5 at my club, right? Yeah. And the thing was, at least with him, we had Kante next to him. And then he had even Kovacic, guys that were.
And we got Caicedo next to Enzo Fernandez. So
but the thing is, bro, that's a double pivot already. So I think with him, you're probably gonna need another guy that's a runner. Right now, we don't have the other runner right now. You can say maybe Lavia can do that for you, but I think I just prefer Lavia as a 6 because I think he's a perfect 6 rather than having him.
So did you sign too many players that are supposed to play in the same role?
I feel like, but the thing is with the club, we know this new model they're trying to do. They're trying to flip players. So like some of these guys are always going to be flips. You know what I mean?
But not Lavia, not Enzo, not Caicedo. Like this could be a mismanagement of fund.
Not really, because
I think they signed so many players.
I would disagree because again, Lavia is 20 years old. He's still got a few good years ahead of him. So you know what I mean. Caicedo is an 8. Enzo is pretty much a 6, I would say. And then Caicedo can come off the bench.
Can I just say one thing though? Because it's you could literally, for me, we could probably go into the vault and find videos about us talking about Chelsea, and the conversations sound exactly the same as they sound today. Exactly the same. Yeah. Under Potter, under Poch, starting now. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go the same way, but at a certain point, the narrative has to change. Chelsea under Poch were a number of games last season were good box to box, and in both ends they were sloppy. Like as in weren't finishing their chances, were conceding easy goals. Yeah, so they start doing that again this season. I don't care about the context of how the players, versus the other manager. You're essentially doing the same thing. Yeah. So they have to very quickly not do the same thing. Yeah. Wolves away next week.
You know what I will say to you, boys, before you go, bro. What I will say, the next 5 to 6 weeks is what I think we're gonna really see Chelsea, in my personal opinion, because I think we're gonna be facing Wolves, Crystal Palace. I think we're facing like West Ham in that period. I feel like a lot of mid-table to low mid-table teams essentially. Yeah. So those are going to be the things we will see if Chelsea are progressing week by week and if we're actually improving. That's what I would say to you, bro.
Yeah, but my rebuttal to that would be, I watched quite a lot. I watched a lot of Chelsea last season. Actually, the hate watch was in full.
Bro,
I'm a Tottenham fan. What it says?
What can I say? I understand, man.
Yeah, so I was watching Chelsea a lot last season, and a lot of games Chelsea had a good amount of control in or created a goal. Like almost every game Chelsea played last season, there was moments for them in a game. Like they had chances, and they played quite well for a period of time in the game. So now when they play under Maresca, I'm like, okay, they're gonna play well in games. Yeah, they're gonna have moments in games. And again, it goes back to Chelsea weren't horrific like last season. The underlying numbers for Chelsea were actually quite good. Like it's just they didn't.
But this is where the transfer business comes into.
Yeah, so we'll look at Fofana quickly. Sorry. The second goal, yeah, about I think a minute earlier, Fofana had done a very similar clearance, yeah. So top centre backs don't do that, yeah. Top centre backs don't hoof the ball down the line, yeah. Like they try and find their man. He's then out of position, yeah, on the come rounds, yeah. He can't press the man. Obviously, both. I think Enzo and Caicedo someone's got to take a booking.
Exactly, Enzo could have taken a booking.
So someone has to take Kovacic out.
Exactly, yeah.
And then the centre back, once you get there, they've got to close him down.
Yeah,
and then on top of that, Sanchez would save it.
Yeah.
So it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, and I'm like, that's what I saw last season. That's the same thing. So it's like,
you know what they say, man. Old habits die hard. I feel like this season again. And I feel like, again, this season is going to be this thing of like, we need to break these habits we had last season and actually, reverse it for me personally. But again, with Chelsea, if we do get
into Osimhen, how do you feel about him being captain?
I don't understand why they did that. I just don't, even if I was to separate even my own feelings of it, like just from a PR perspective, it doesn't look great in my personal opinion. Even if I was to even just remove my own feelings, which I'm not really, which I don't personally agree with it, right? It doesn't make sense. I don't know why you would do this.
Do you think the players voted him in, or is it the managers? Because normally nowadays it's players that vote.
They haven't really said, that it's not actually been said.
Chelsea have no leadership, so they're literally giving the captaincy out.
Last year, Pochettino was one that gave out the captaincy, so I would assume it's just against the manager. So I think it's a manager, not the manager.
Bro, you know what happened to us? We made Granit Xhaka captain at a time where the whole fan base thought Granit Xhaka was useless. And the whole team, the Arsenal team, thought he was the most integral piece to the team. And it ended up leading to the situation at Crystal Palace where he told the fans to F off and took off his shirt and went down the pitch. I thought we were never going to see him again. He ended up turning around his career. If Enzo, it could get worse. But if he has a moment where he turns around his career this season, that's all you guys care about.
I think of Chelsea. Listen, this is the first game of the season against Manchester City. I think, again, I would just say, judge us at least in the next 5 to 6 weeks. Look, watch us when we're actually playing these teams, because those are the teams where we're actually going to be, improving upon. This is Man City, so
100%.
I thought Cucurella was good, but he shouldn't be singing about Haaland if he can't keep him goalless.
I agree with you, bro. I told this brother, man. I told this guy already, but why are you doing this nonsense, bro? Like, you know what I mean?
Bro,
anyways, I wanted to talk about Liverpool, Musa. Do you want to talk about Liverpool or you want to talk about Chelsea?
Of course, Liverpool, man. This is my team, man. I want to talk about Mohamed Salah. What's saying 300 goal contributions in 350 games. Are you seeing the stats that this guy pulls out every single year? 9 years in a row, this guy's scoring goals in the first game. Scoring a goal in the first game.
Is he scoring at a higher clip than Harry Kane was?
Bro, Bro's better than Harry Kane. Let's not talk about Harry Kane here. Bro is better than Harry. He's solidifying himself as one of the best Premier League players of all time. Like what we were talking about, is Salah the best Premier League winger of all time? Forget that. He's already done that. He's been the best. I'm talking about one of the best Premier League players of all time now. Like he's actually up there. If you give me names, he will be up there. If you give me a top 10, if you give me a top 10,
are you saying Mo Salah is the best right winger in Premier League history?
Yes, he's the best right winger in Premier League history, guaranteed. They were telling me Hazard is one of the best wingers. You think Salah doesn't blow him out the water? Come on with these stats now. Come on with these stats, please. I'm begging you now. I'm telling you. Man. Salah is different level, different. You can't ignore stats. Stats is like with these stats in particular. You cannot ignore it.
Hazard is better than Salah, bro.
Historically, what about the three Manchester United wingers? Giggs, Ronaldo, Beckham.
Ronaldo at his time as a winger and Salah at his time as a winger for Liverpool. Who's better? Is Salah? What are we doing here? Salah's proven it year and year. Yes, he's the best winger in Premier League history. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you he's one of the best players in Premier League history. I'm telling you he's one of the best players in Premier League history. Like I would say if you give me a top 10 best Premier League players in Premier League history, he's probably up there. If he retires tomorrow, he's probably up there. I'm telling you.
I think
you can't ignore all of this. You can't ignore these stats. I'm giving you a number.
Can I be honest with you? Yeah. What's your name again, my brother?
Musa.
My apologies, brother. Yeah, Musa. So listen, I always say I just play by two things. Obviously, what they give me statistically, but also what they do on the pitch as well, right?
100%,
right? I think with me, I always say what Hazard was doing on the pitch with his situation and the stuff that he was doing and accolades he received from it is why I've always said, I think he's clear of Salah. Now, yes, we can make the argument that Salah, was more prolific than him. That's a fair point.
Longevity as well.
Right. I think from a longevity argument in the EPL for how long he was there, I would disagree. From a longevity argument,
Salah's been doing it. Salah's been doing it for listen, if we're talking about amount of goals for longer, I'm talking about the same amount of goals for longer. I'm saying the same amount. He hasn't been wavering. No wavering at all. Salah's bad season is 15 Premier League goals. Salah's bad season.
The thing about Salah, and I've said this before, Salah is what I would like to call a winger that scores. He's a scoring winger. With Hazard was a creator. He was creating.
Are we doing career attacks? I'm telling you, are we doing career attacks? I'll put up Salah's assists right now.
I'm asking you right now. No. Understand that primarily as wingers. What was Hazard? Was Hazard primarily a scoring winger?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm not just talking about the creative tactics here. I'm talking about this as the winger. What was in his mind?
I'm telling you, Salah's got it all. And I agree with you, but I'm telling you, Salah's got it all. He can do the assisting. He can do the goal scoring. He could do the beat a player then score. He could do all that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like he can't do it the way Hazard does it as beautiful as he does it. Like I'm saying, I'll give you that. Hazard does it in a way where it looks good. It looks very good. I'm saying Salah does it. Salah's just so effective. I'm telling you, the way he does it is.
I understand what you mean.
That's what I'm trying to say to you. You cannot beat that, and you cannot beat that. I'm telling you, effectiveness. You can't beat that. You're talking about Haaland, 91 goals in 100 games. Like what are we doing? You can't. These stats are insane. How are you doubting players that are giving up these stats? You can't doubt them. You can't doubt these lot.
I would say, I'll put a question to you, because like,
would you count Rooney as a winger or a striker?
I would say a striker.
At one point a 10 as well. At one point a striker. Depends what you want. Depends what you want. Even at one point a winger to once. Even at one point a winger.
I've got a question for you, Musa. Another one. You're talking about like the way we talk about Hazard and Salah. Would you not then, by that same take on that same argument that I would give you? I could just say then Lampard is better than Gerrard, can't I then? Because Lampard, more goals, more assists.
I could understand the argument. I could understand. That's why there's the whole argument of Lampard, Gerrard scores. I understand the argument. But my argument is, and your argument can be two different things. My argument is who's more complete? Who can, like, I can give you Gerrard can do the goals, can do the assists, and he's in a worse team as well, and can do in a better team, can do in the team like Chelsea's given was at the time was given all these fruits, but we're given the bottom of the barrel pretty much. You lot, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Look at the difference. Salah's Chelsea
they played in the same team.
But to be fair though, you could. I feel like with Lampard had.
Salah. Oh, are you talking about Salah? Are you talking about Salah at the time when he was a kid at Chelsea and his first season? It was his first season at Chelsea, and the Hazard was in his prime. Come on, what are you doing here? What are we doing here? Oh, am I doing that? Are we doing kids? Are we doing?
On a serious note, how many Salah's been here for? How long? What, 6 years or 7 years right now? It's similar to Hazard.
7 years. 7 years.
What, man? What do you mean 7 years? He just broke
the
record.
Seasons.
Nine
seasons.
No, seasons.
No, 9 seasons. 9 seasons. 9 seasons. Sorry, my bad. 9 seasons now.
Every year.
Goodness gracious.
No,
9 seasons.
He's been here.
9 seasons. 9 seasons. 9 seasons. My bad. Yeah, he said because 9 in a row. He scored 9 first games. I said the stat. I don't know how I forgot.
I said the stat. 9 games in a row. The first game.
No, but
9 games in a row in the first game. In the first game. In the first game.
Chelsea, is that including Chelsea? Was Chelsea period? Or is that just only?
No, it's not including. Is it including Chelsea? It's not including Chelsea. Yeah, I don't think it's including Chelsea. I don't think
it's including Liverpool only.
Liverpool only.
So he's been there 9 seasons already. That's crazy.
9 seasons.
I feel like he's been there for 7, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, the longevity is different. I tell you, the longevity is different. You're not hearing it. You're not hearing me when I say longevity.
I thought he came playing 19, innit? So I thought it was like 6
years. Okay, bro,
years.
let me read it. 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20,
21,
22.
And that's 3 golden boots in between that. 3 golden boots.
2025.
Are we not deep in what he's doing? I'm telling you, what I'm telling you, he's one of the best Premier League players in history. Like, you can't, you can't doubt that.
No, you can't doubt that. What the hell?
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. It must include Chelsea, but I'm pretty sure it has to include Chelsea.
No, but they can't include Chelsea because he doesn't have a Premier League goal.
He did score for Chelsea. He scored for Chelsea, bro. What are you talking about? He scored against you.
8 seasons. 8 seasons. 8 seasons. 8 seasons.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it must be 8 seasons.
8 seasons.
But then why? How did? No. They just updated it. Sorry. It's one.
Is it the number of goals he scored in the opening?
If you're adding Chelsea, it's 9. If you're adding Chelsea, I think it's 9.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I'm confused. Wasn't the record 9?
Yeah, he scored 9.
Yeah, I think he probably scored in the first.
He must have scored more than one goal in one of the games.
That's what I was saying, bro. Yeah. So I feel like it must be because he scored a hat trick last time.
I'm tripping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. I think it was against Norwich. He might have scored 2.
He scored 9 goals in debut days, so it's not 9 games.
Yeah.
Listen, the question is: so you have Hazard, you have Ronaldo, you have Giggs, and you have Salah. Who's the GOAT of Premier League wingers?
Come on, are we doing this? Are we serious? Ronaldo in the 2007. I can only give you Ronaldo. I'm not giving you Giggs. I'm not giving you who's the other ones you give it? Who's the other ones you said?
Hazard and Salah.
Hazard. I'm not giving you Hazard. I'm giving you only Ronaldo. The only person I can only hear is Ronaldo. Ronaldo's the only one. The only one because at his prime, he was scoring free kicks. He was scoring outside the box goals. He was Ballon d'Or winner. That's the only one I can hear from. Really.
I just feel like for me, bro. Listen, if you look at Salah on his day and Hazard on his day, Hazard is just unstoppable, bro. He can create for you. He can score for you, and he can.
And I think Salah could do that for you.
Let me hear from the other boys for a second. Are Jay and Monty? Are you guys there? Let me know. Jump into the conversation whenever you're ready. Overall, though, I thought Liverpool in the second half played really well, and if you guys continue to play the way you guys played in the second half, you guys could be on for a title charge.
Maybe. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna put my hopes up. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm just gonna say we might just like dip our toe into the pool. We might just like I don't think we're gonna go too crazy. I don't think we're gonna go too crazy this season because we might get injury here and there because Jota's not reliable, Konate's not reliable. Just players like I don't think Szoboszlai is 100% reliable. Just players like that, just that are very pivotal to us, like our best 11. Like you know what I mean. So like hopefully.
Let's hear from Jay. What does Jay have to say about the whole Salah debate?
What? Sorry, I missed.
He's adamant that Mo Salah is the best winger of what do you call it?
In Premier League history.
Best winger in Premier League history. I mean, it's a good. I mean, it's an interesting one. It's one of those where I don't like to go too quick on it because it's a bit like because it might sound outlandish, but then when you start breaking it down, I think
it's really not.
I think the big issue is the number of Premier Leagues he's got in terms of how people would determine that. I had Bale. So obviously as a Spurs fan, I think Salah.
What? You said Premier Leagues and then you said Bale.
Bale, that's Spurs.
You don't think Bale was one of the best?
No, I'm saying
like,
you just said Premier Leagues and then he said Bale. I'm just confused. He said the big issue of Salah is the number of Premier Leagues he's got, and then he just said Bale.
Oh yeah,
the guys won more Premier Leagues.
Sorry, I was reading the comment and I got a little bit sidetracked. Yeah, when you look at the top wingers, yeah, a lot of people will look at number of. When people talk about the Scholesers, the KDBs, Gerrard gets up there, even though I think for other rival fans who will look at it and be like, well, why is it that Liverpool always get to have players in the top lists and stuff when they only have won one league, or in Gerrard's case, won no leagues? So I think that's where you're going to get the pushback, raw numbers.
It's because individually the guy's won 3 golden boots. He's won a Champions League as well. To add to that, he's won so many other individual stats that he's got records.
I could say Hazard's won 3.
Yeah, exactly.
The most African goals in Champions League history. The most African goals in Premier League history. These are things like
but in that instance,
these are the stats that you're doing.
In that instance, you could just say Hazard then for the number of Premier Leagues he's won. The impact.
I've not said that personally. I'm saying I respect trophies. I understand why you said, oh, Hazard this, Hazard that. I hear it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I hear it. But with all it's just all the individual stuff to put onto that. That's what I'm trying to say to you. It's all the individual trophies as well. Like, because Harry Kane's won no trophies. Is he a bad player? No, of course he's not a bad player. It's the individuals that literally show why he's a class player.
Yeah. But
that's what I'm trying to say to you.
No, true. But people still would. If I tried to say that Kane was the best striker in Premier League history, yeah, you get a lot of pushback.
He's got 200 and certain goals in Premier League history. He's got a lot of goals.
That's my point with Salah. Like, if I said Kane was the best striker in Premier League history, yeah, people would be like, what?
People say Alan Shearer is the best Premier League striker and the best striker in Premier League.
People say Henry.
People said that. No, I'm saying people say Henry as well. But I'm saying people say Shearer because the sheer goals that he's got as well. People say that. That's what people have argued that.
You know what allows?
I think the only reason why Harry Kane hasn't got like what's it called, all the tax and forever, because he's got no trophies. That's the only reason why. If he had trophies, of course, that's why trophies. That's why trophies mean more. That's why trophies mean more.
Musa, what did you think about slot ball? It looked stable defensively.
In the first half, I wouldn't say that. In the second half, I would say yes, we are a bit more stable, 100%. When Konate came on as well for Kwanzaa, because Kwanzaa he was talking about Kwanzaa losing a couple of duels, which is kind of blunt. I respect it as well, to be honest, to a degree. But he's a young player. He needs to learn. So
the thing is, though,
he spoke about your whole team losing duels. To be fair,
I think he took off Kwanzaa specifically, so he didn't look too. I'm saying Kwanzaa didn't look too happy on the bench. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'll be honest, bro. The thing about what I saw of Liverpool is that yes, second half you looked good, but I do worry about that depth of your team, bro, because 1 or 2 injuries, bro, and like the way you are trying to play now. No, but I feel like with Liverpool, because they've actually made no signings. And the guys that are like literally remaining on their bench, like I feel like with Arsenal, there's still some level of quality that like you would agree with that too. Same even with me, I can still say I have 1 or 2 guys there that I can at least switch up there that can still give me what I was getting given from previously. Like same with other teams, I would say. But like with you guys in particular, it's like you're going from Konate to like maybe even a Kwanzaa. From like a Salah, who are you going from? If I'm not mistaken, like what Calvin. Like you see, there's like drop-offs that are happening. Like, you know,
I think we got a lot of players that need to prove themselves as well.
Liverpool's bench, by the way. They got Ibrahim Konate, Gakpo, Tsimikas, Connor Bradley, Endo, Nunez, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Kelleher. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. But that is because we have everyone fit. And I think this is not gonna last long. I don't think it's gonna last long. So I'm thinking future. I'm thinking for the future. Like the next couple months,
injured,
players are gonna fall. Players gonna fall. So I'm thinking after international break, stuff like that. Yo, like I don't see these injury. We have injury prone players that fall like flies pretty much. Like I'm looking at Konate, I'm looking at Jota that just keep getting injured. Like
injuries could negatively affect anybody though. Man City get an injury to Rodri to finish. Arsenal get an injury 100%. To Bukayo Saka and Saliba.
For me, it's Jota. Jota so good. Because Jota is so good as a he's one of our best finishers. Like honestly,
with Salah when he's on form.
He's
an incredible finisher.
He's probably one of the best finishers.
I think of him like, you know how Son is. You know, like Son is an incredible finisher. Same way Jota is like they're both incredible finishers. That's who I like.
Amazing finishers. But you know what? Talking about Son, we actually want to talk about Spurs before we finish off. So Jay, whenever you get back, let me know. Monty, if you're still there, please let us know. So they face Leicester on Monday. What? Are you there? Hello?
So one sec.
Yeah, give me. I said 1 second.
Okay. So they face Leicester on Monday, and I think it's going to be a situation where Leicester could be the last team to give us a shock on the opening week of the Premier League. But do you guys think what's the likelihood of that happening?
Not very likely because they lost the one of their main players, Dewsbury Hall. They lost their manager. I don't know if they're going to set up too well. I don't know how they're going to set up even. With the
I thought they got skipped. Like I was like, what is going on there? I didn't even understand.
Yeah.
It's a big and Skip. Like that was
they brought in Skip. Like what? Yeah. You know what? I think they're thinking because they got Winks, they're thinking let's just go back and get Skip. But
Winks ain't doing too bad for Leicester.
Jay's probably really happy. He sold Skip. He's about to play Leicester, get his first win of the season. How you feeling, Jay?
There's a lot of people who are going to be tuned in on Monday, hoping that Spurs drop the ball. Yeah, good, man. It's a new season. I feel like one thing I've noticed is a lot of the teams so far look to be a reasonable continuation of last season. So, like, a number of teams kind of look a bit how they looked last season. So, you know, going into this game, last season we were pretty dominant against like the newly promoted teams. You know, they were, you know, we would win by a couple of clear goals and stuff. So yeah, I'm chilled. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing Solanke, Odebear. That's nice. You know, I've already forgot because for as a Spurs fan, that was like as close to pre-Romano as you can possibly get. Do you know what I mean? It was literally Spurs deciding this play. Do you know what I mean? As in there was no like lead up to it. There was no like, it's just we signed him. Like we signed him on Friday. And the first we knew about it was Friday. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he should be involved as well. So yeah, man, I feel we still need like a player or two, but we've had a pretty good window. Because we've managed to get rid of a lot of players. Like we've gotten rid of a lot of players. So squad's younger, got some new players, got a new target, and Richie's fit too. So it's like, so now it's like I'm looking at our attack, and like, we've got quite a few goals in it now. You know, you got Son, you got Solanke, you got Richarlison. You know what I mean? You've got like 45, 50 goals there, easy.
Could you see a season where you finish outside of like the top 6?
No, I feel like we definitely finished in the top 6. I just don't know where in the top 6. Like, I think for me, my expectation, my kind of low expectation for this season is top 6 and a cup final. Like what happens in the cup final is by the by, but you need to make a cup final.
Here's my thing, Jay. I actually rate your first 11. Outside of that, we've not seen your squad depth and how it could handle. Van de Ven goes down. Now you have what's his name? That guy you signed.
Dragusin, yeah.
Dragusin. Udogie goes down. I don't know who your left back is.
It'll probably be Van de Ven would probably move over, depending on the difficulty of game.
Okay. Solanke goes down. You do have some cover there.
We got Richarlison now.
Yeah. So the midfield is really the question, and I don't feel like I don't feel like RC Gray. We haven't seen enough to say he's ready.
Yeah, that's the gamble, isn't it? They're saying these 18-year-olds are good to go. Yeah, and that's what they're kind of gambling our season on. They're saying that Lo Celso, who barely played, and Højbjerg, we're gonna go with these 18-year-olds who are like supremely talented, and we think they're good to go.
It's high risk, high reward, but at the same time, it's also, if it doesn't work out and you get 2-3 injuries, like we were talking about for Arsenal, City, or even Liverpool, if the same thing happens to you, you're 2-3 injuries away from being in like 6th or 8th.
No, I think there's only really the only player I'd say now in this, the only player I'm like, oh my God, like, fuck. It's probably Romero, maybe Van de Ven. Other than that, I'm all right with everybody. Even so, I like, you stick Werner there or you stick Johnson there or something. It's not Son, but
what's your expectations for the season? 4th.
I mean, minimum expectation is top 6, and final. My expectation or what I would like to happen.
Do you? Because I have
Europa.
Call me crazy. I don't know if you've seen one of my tweets was going viral because I tweeted under Sports Bible, give me your bold take of the season, and I said Ange could be sacked by January, because if a club things could go wrong for them quick, it's probably your club out of all the teams.
I mean,
you see how you guys ended last season, like, for God's sakes.
No, I mean, well, we were inconsistent at the end of last season. If you look at we didn't really have our full team. Like for a lot of games, like even Udogie missed the last like 5-6 games, and like it's like there's a big drop off from Udogie to Davies. There's a big drop off from our first team to our squad players, and so we've tried to bring them up. Like Richarlison scored at a good rate last season, but he just wasn't available enough. He got injured a lot. Now you've got Richarlison and Solanke. Yeah, and now Son will play left wing exclusively. Yeah, so now you've got Son, Solanke, and then you've got Kulusevski, you've just signed Odegaard, you've got Johnson. So now you've got young players, but they've got different profiles of players. You got a dribbler, you got a playmaker, you got a runner. So now you hopefully are able to pick the right player for the right kind of opportunities. So I think Spurs have done well with that, and I trust the scouts, because the big thing about Spurs, when Spurs are buying 18-year-olds and stuff, like it's like they're not doing it like Chelsea. We're not buying loads. Yeah, we're buying like a very finite number of players. So we're really trusting that those players are like a top 18-year-olds. Like we're like Bergvall. Like this kid is special, because all clubs have the opportunity to sign like a Wharton. Do you see what I mean? The top 6 all could have bought.
But he costs too much. They want like 100 million.
No, but he costs too much for the risk profile of you looking at that player and thinking, he's too much. But a club like Palace, for the opportunity to sign him, like the overpay, because it was an overpay. It's obviously an overpay.
They paid 40 mil for him, didn't he?
I think it was like 25 or so, 25, 26.
Oh, okay.
But the guy only made his debut like in January or whatever. So the guy only had like a few months of championship experience, and he's going 25. As a top club, yeah, you should be wanting to mitigate risk. Do you know what I mean? I think all top clubs, they should really want to. You don't want to risk, like you don't want to waste money. So that's why if Arteta's saying I'm going to spend 65 million on Havertz, he must have known that the guy was going to be good. Do you know what I mean? Because that's a big risk, the risk profile of that. So, looking at all these young players and stuff, Spurs are going for in 1 or 2 years, these guys are going to be really, really good. You know, and like, you know, lots of teams have got good projects. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's hard to predict where Spurs are going to finish. Because
I think you lot will finish third, I'll be honest. I think you lot will have a good year. You lot will definitely.
I think for me, I've said this before. I like Ange, by the way, actually, because I actually knew about him when he was at Celtic. I just think for me, listen, his tactics, yeah, they can work, yeah, if you have the right players. Obviously, we saw that last season. It's really just going to come down to, there's going to be games where you're going to get found out, innit? There's actually going to be games where you're going to get found out. It's the amount of games you're going to get found out. And also, is he willing, you know, to put this out, to not die on his sword and actually, you know, be like, all right, I need that plan B just in case that happens. That's my issue. That's my big thing.
Let me stop you there. As a Chelsea fan, do you have Chelsea in the top 4?
I would say 5th for me personally. I have Chelsea 5th.
And do you have Spurs ahead of you or behind you?
I think I had them just behind me because I thought because my biggest concern. Wait, no, because my biggest concern was not their players. My biggest concern had always been the lack of a plan B. And like if his tactics were getting found out towards the end of the season, if that continues on, where teams continue to actually he still plays the same tactics.
And Monty, don't go nowhere. Same question to you too. Do you have the same? Where are you standing with Man United finishing 4th?
I've got us. Wait, I wrote my predictions, and I have us finishing 5th. So
where do you have Spurs?
3rd.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's crazy, you know. That's crazy take.
What happened to Liverpool? What happened to Liverpool? There's like second.
Yeah, I want to know where did.
So this.
So you got.
This my top. Hold on. This is my top.
Okay.
Table.
So where do you have Chelsea then? If you're 5th.
Wait. I have Arsenal winning the league. I have City 2nd, Spurs 3rd, Liverpool 4th, United 5th, Newcastle 6th, Chelsea 7th, Villa 8th, West Ham 9th, Brighton 10th.
That's crazy. Newcastle is that far, but okay.
Jay,
you're on mute.
There's always a top 4 shock. So
yeah, no, but I think that's like no one can really say that that's cheeky because you've actually just named 10 good teams. There's 10 good teams there.
I feel like from 3 to 9.
Yeah, from 3 to 9.
Yeah,
I was like, like Villa
goes on a run.
Villa 8. Yeah, but
Villa 8 is crazy.
Would be like,
but
all the teams above Villa would be looking at Villa thinking, we can finish above you.
No
team is looking at Villa thinking, you know what I mean? They're like, oh.
I have to say, guys, this season, Europe here is going to be very big for a lot of clubs. Europe is going to be so big to see how clubs actually, are able to continue in the EPL. I'll be so serious.
I think Newcastle also benefit from the no Europe.
Them and West Ham, by the way. Them and West Ham.
Yeah, I think
West Ham get it right.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think this is a good way to end it.
Brighton,
let's just quickly go over what happened this weekend. Like, do you guys watch a lot of the other games? Because I thought Crystal Palace got robbed a clean goal versus what do you call it? Brentford today. Eze's goal.
I heard the referee apologized to Eze.
Yeah,
the referee apologized to him. That's crazy. Yeah. That's nuts, man. If it was a big team,
he blew the whistle too soon. The West Ham game. Did you guys see what happened in the West Ham game? Drama. So West Ham were trying to go sign that guy that Chelsea also wanted, Duran. Duran literally in a video did the hammer sign, and he wanted to go to West Ham. He wanted to leave Aston Villa. He scored the winner for Aston Villa in the first game of the season.
Come on,
at the Hammer Stadium.
I rate that. You know how cold that is.
Then you have the Bournemouth Nottingham Forest game. Ends 1-1.
If you're talking about controversy, you're missing out. Newcastle Southampton was a mad game.
Bro, how are they giving a red card for a little incident like that, but no red card? Did you guys see the guy grab Jesus' ass and choke him?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy, by the way.
That was crazy.
The one before Jesus, the actual neck thing on Havertz. That should have been a red card to begin with, to be honest. And that's just me being like,
bro, the guy was trying to make a name for himself.
Mate, that is
I'm worried next week, man. I can't lie to you, I'm worried next week, man. I hope he doesn't do that to my players, bro.
Sterling's not on the pitch, you're good.
Bro, listen, I'm happy that Sterling's not on my pitch, bro. That, you know what?
They were so wild. Yeah, the mosquito guy became a villain whatever his name is. How do you pronounce his name?
Mosquera.
I'm calling him Mosquito from now on. Just blatant disrespect. But what else is there?
Brighton. I watched the Brighton game, you know.
Yo, you got Everton fans tweeting about Arsenal, making fun of Bukayo Saka limping as they're getting rubbed down by Brighton.
I'll be honest. Brighton, they looked all right. You know what I mean? Obviously, I was looking at I was looking to see what Wi-Fi was doing and how Matoma's gonna look. And they looked pretty decent, I'd say. But like I feel like Everton, you know, they just missed some blatant chances. Like I feel like Man United might actually beat these guys quite comfortably. Like you know who they remind me of?
They were quite open, weren't they, Brighton?
Yeah,
like,
they really remind Potter, under Potter where they were playing that good football, but like because like it just takes one or two balls and you're just literally like you've cut them in half. I feel like you
but you see that count. You see the good thing about like you mentioned United there in the sense of you see us when teams give us space, we thrive. I think
Bruno thrives for sure.
Historically, we always just do well when teams give us a lot of space to work with. It's just when teams are a bit more robust, it's a bit difficult. But in a sense, you see Brighton, their wing play, this opening fixture, I was very impressed.
That guy from Feyenoord, by the way, is amazing. I knew that was good. I can't lie. I can't believe Newcastle let him go. You know, I'm actually.
What's he saying? Was he good?
He's actually really good, bro. He was good at Feyenoord, bro. When I watched him at Feyenoord, I was surprised they let him go, bro. For that much,
hey guys, we're gonna have to.
That's my manager making him look good.
Adingra looks good.
My God.
But Adingra looks good. But we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Big up Musa for joining us. Big up Jay for joining us. Big up Monty. Big up everybody. Of course, yourself, my brother Ahmed. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, I forgot Vader. Big up Vader also. Guys, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to like the video, all of you guys right now, and everyone who's watching this on the playback who's gotten up to this level, especially if you're watching on the playback, shout out to you. You're real ones. And big up to everyone watching right now. We're out of here. Peace.